So for my presentation, I've decided to focus on the role of sponsors. In my essay, I will explore how the commercialization of different brands affects the viewers of NBA content. I believe that sponsorships both promote dangerous and addictive behavior that has negative effects on its viewers. More specifically, I will be discussing gambling platforms like Proline, FanDuel, and Bet365 as they are blatantly promoting gambling and are framed in a way to make it not seem as bad. In these said advertisements, we often see that they usually put disclaimers such as, "Are you fit to play?" which in itself is a sort of loaded question and essentially places the responsibility on the viewer to determine if they really are responsible and fit to play. More so in ads as well, they usually put their gambling helplines at the end where not really any people are paying attention nor are able to see it size wise, as it's usually small in the bottom of the screen as well. So my paper seeks to question the ethics behind said advertisements being played not just to adults but young adults and teens and children as well. I feel like that's another demographic that is very vital to my paper as well. Furthermore, I will be also diving into other brands such as Gatorade, Beats, McDonald's, etc., who also dominate the advertising space. And although at a slightly more innocent level, these brands aren't necessarily promoting life threatening issues like gambling. I believe that they promote consumerism, taking advantage of impressionable children who view their favorite sports athletes as role models to a certain extent. And they play on that idea that children will follow whatever their favorite player says. Like, for example, we saw it with Michael Jordan and Gatorade, LeBron and Sprite, and even Damian Lillard with Proline Sports. These advertisement companies and these brands are taking advantage of the image of the athlete themselves and their influence and using it to promote their product, but their product is also causing these negative effects, which is what I would like to view. To explore my thesis, I'll be drawing on some scholarly articles. The first one being Ellen McGrane's "What is the Impact of Sports-Related Gambling, Advertising on Gambling Behavior? A Systematic Review." What I liked most about this article was how relevant it is today. So, it came out just January of last year, and it explores 22 different studies about sports gambling ads and its association with higher gambling frequency. Next is Gianluca De Quesno's examining the role of sports betting marketing in youth problem gambling. What I find interesting about this study is its attention to youth specifically. This sort of aspect of the paper will help drive my stance on gambling ads and its negative effects on the youth. As someone who's watched sports throughout my entire life, I've seen all sorts of ads on being played on NBA commercial breaks or even on the sidelines on the little projectors and the little screens across the the league. Even it's taken to a point where we often see different advertisement companies on the actual jerseys themselves, which I believe I don't remember what team specifically, but they also it's sponsored by a gambling website, but this will furthermore help me with my exploration of its effects on the youth. I'll also draw from personal experiences with that as well. So lastly, Mary A. Bragg's marketing food and beverages to youth through sports. So to take a step away from the gambling portion of my paper, I want to discuss the negative effects of the food industry because through their advertisements in sports, as I also discussed through its various athletes like LeBron promoting Sprite, Michael Jordan promoting McDonald's, this specific aspect I also want to explore as well, aside from gambling. Although I believe gambling is the larger issue, I want to explore it as sort of like gambling as the top problem and the kind of like the lesser problems, but the lesser problems with like food specifically, but I still want to pose that issue as well. So to wrap up my presentation, I wanted to propose the question of, are the athletes themselves responsible for the negative effects of advertising? As they're the ones who are allowing their likeness to be used in these brands. They are endorsing these brands and sort of co-sign their message. And I just want to ask or pose the question of whether how responsible are they to the effects?